Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, August 15th. It is August 15th. Okay, just making sure about that. 2016. Mouse cursor is here now. Hi. Good start. So, Mira was talking about a story of him just now, I guess. He has a uninterruptible power supply. I used to have one too, but it was like 8 years old, and it complained that its battery was dying, so I unhooked it, bought a power bar, with the intention of buying a power supply at some point again, because that was actually very effective at, like, you know. So, okay, so I'll say story first. So, when I was in high school, my parents were in the military. Well, my father was in the military, mother was in the military until she, you know, had kids. But anyway, so we were moving around from house to house, and in high school, the house we had was like a very old military house. Really nice, on the top of a hill overlooking the Halifax harbor and the kind of that strait going into the ocean. So it was a beautiful scene, and it was a nice house, but it was old, and its infrastructure was old, and the area around it was also very old as well. So suffice to say, we had some really bad power issues, like wake up in the middle of the night and your clock is reset, and at some points my computer turned itself on. Like, you wouldn't think that'd be possible to have a weird brownout or something like that and have the computer signal, oh, I need to turn on now, but that's apparently what happened. So didn't put two and two together until later on, but we also had a bunch of computer failures, like computer part failures. Blew 2 motherboards, 2 video cards, and a couple sticks of RAM. Over the course of like 3 years. And when we moved here, we had some other issues as well, and the power was fine, but we were doing a lot of construction, so the breakers constantly being turned on and off. And if you don't know which one you're doing, accidentally turn off the one that leads the computer, and it turns off, and it doesn't want to turn back on again. It's like, oh, crappy, right? So, and computers have been a bit better than that lately, and you know, what we have now is good, but anyway, so we have we bought a UPS for it, and we didn't have any problems with power at all since, right? So that was great, right? But yeah, so it was pretty bad when you have power issues to the point where electronics turn themselves on with no input. It just decides to turn itself on. I should tell you there's something really wrong going on, right? Anyway, I guess it was a lot less funny of a story than I thought it was. Anyway, so they're saying that yeah, their UPS was fine. It was a bike tire nearby it. Say an anecdote in a monotone voice with pauses that don't make grammatical sense. Okay. Okay. So what we had last night was the ability to grab the current modes, current maps, and current presets, and actually, I'm gonna try something. I'm going to set this to edit anywhere. I'm going to rebuild. because I want to see what happens when I change it to Siege. Because Siege doesn't have chessboard, so I want to see if the code we have will. This Supercell? Oh, nice. I didn't realize that they added it to Monster Cat. Anyway, they did it a while ago, but you know. So now we're going to grab menu setup helper. We're going to change this to Siege. Oh crap! I should have actually switched to server. There we are. There we are. So when I change to Siege, cross streams is the only map available, and it changes preset, so it does it on tick, which is good. As a matter of fact, what I should have done was this. Pause, then go in here and change it to CTF. And then do a resume. And I probably screwed it up again because I was probably in auto, yeah. Anyway. So that's good. So it's now doing this. It's now auto updating, and it seems to be working good. It chooses the map and the preset based on the mode. Sorry, preset map. It limits the number of maps based on the mode and limits the number of presets based on the map and mode. So, which is how they're aligned in it. So that's good. That's what we want. Continue updating map list. Okay, so we added that. So now what we need to do is, now we have the data on menu setup helper, we need to then pull it into blueprints, particularly when it changes, and update the values as necessary, right? Okay, so from there we need to go to create game screen, because I think that would be the first place we want to go. There we go. Oops, no. So I want to do host Combobox widgets, and we'll grab this. Size Y is 30. Oh, I see. Okay. So text block. So yeah. So first, let's turn this. Oh, we can't do it. Invisible. Come on. So I'm trying to find out how I can do realign, because it's not vertically aligned. But in order for me to do this, I have to do a canvas node, which means I have to do the map myself. and figure out the correct place to put them at. Oh, I'm the wrong one anyway. I don't want to do any of that stuff. Arrgh. Okay, so I guess we're gonna do 25, and we're going to do margin top of 5, and compile, save. Oh, that's not even right. Position-wise, 5. So let's see if this looks right. So in the server, it's going to look, it's not going to be there, it's going to be invisible. So that's going to be fine. But in the client, is that better? It actually looks almost bang on. I think I'm 1 pixel over, but other than that, I think I got it right in the first try. So probably just make it 1 more pixel. Padding would be good if I want to put some form of what's the word? Coloring box around it, but some background. A hard word to think of, apparently. So that's it, and then yeah, that's good. Let's see how it scales. Not too good for 4x3. Or is it 4x3 the problem? Or is it just that I don't have enough room to fit the preset? Oh no, it's scaling up. Yeah. I want this to not scale. Okay, so in here, we're gonna go, no, here. It's sad because I want to have things scale as necessary. And I want this to look good, and I also want to keep an aspect ratio because I want it to distort. But yeah. I mean, it will look good for any 16 by 9 ratio. It's just that when you start going to 4x3, it'll start going bad. Now, there's 2 ways to solve this. The first way is just, you know, add extra padding and let it barely go to 4x3. The other way is do responsive, and I'm not sure how you do responsive in Unreal, but well, I mean, I know how you would, but I don't know how to easily do that. Okay, so I'll explain what I mean. So what you could probably do is make multiple of these screens for various aspect ratios. That would work good, and then have the wrapper we created get the aspect ratio we're at and swap through them. That's an easy way of doing it, but a tedious, consuming way of doing it. There might be some way we can actually have responsive like behaviors in UMG itself. I don't know. I should actually probably ask that. I'd say I don't really give a crap when it comes to a releasable demo, though, because, I mean, this is a proof of concept. I don't necessarily have to make it work really good on, 4x3 monitors, or in a 4x3 aspect ratio of some sort. The chances of someone wanting to play check it, especially since it's a game that would naturally lend itself well to widescreen anyway. Would it? That's a good question. Would there ever be some case where they want to have it side by side? I don't like have it on half a screen. Mirror's on a 4x3, of course he is. Yeah. But I mean, like, for the proof of concept though, it doesn't matter. People will, they're getting it for free, right? I mean, if I were actually charging for it or something like that, then that'd be different. But I mean, it's here is the gameplay concept that I have. If you like it, watch my stream or whatever at the time. Again, this is going by my first, by my idea right now of basically being like, I'm gonna release this to the public, see if people like it, and if they like it, they'll watch stream and watch me, continue to flesh it out. It is possible that it could end up being, I mean, possible. It's possible to get hit by a meteor, right? But I was gonna say meteorite, but it sounded like meteorite, which it actually still would work. Anyway, don't mind me. But it is possible that like a publisher could be like, hey, this is interesting. It sounds like a good game concept. Do it, whatever. And that'd be interesting too. Or some organization that wants to promote some platform or something. Be like, hey, make it for our platform. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. LG Samsung ones that are 29 by 10 right now. Yeah, so the problem is not going wider, because wider would just increase the padding here. It may make you have to scroll if this size scale is too much. Actually, that's a good question. What does my project do? DPI scale shortest side, okay. So it won't do it that much. Okay. I was gonna say if it's set to not shortest side, set to always wide. Then if you have it going really, really wide, it may crush vertically, but looks like it'd be fine for that. Actually, we can test it right now. Here I am being theoretical, and it's like, yeah, just test the damn thing. Okay, so let's go on one monitor, and you can see it here. And let's just grab it and stretch. And yeah, it's behaving fine. There's a lot of white space, but it's not becoming illegible, so that's good. I'd be comfortable with that for a demo. I mean, it'll look ugly, but it'd be better for to have some way of, again, like I'm saying about responsive web design and other types of responsive design, or well, responsive design usually is associated with the web because web browsers can be whatever you want. It could be mobile, could be in the desktop. You have to kind of design for all of them. Which usually means designing for mobile first because you have a limited amount of space and then adding more as you go, but you make sure all your core functionality is in the small one first, because if you design desktop first, okay, so there's two things. So people, when they say responsive web design, people think they mean like, and they say mobile first, people think they mean like, oh, mobile's what everyone cares about right now, so let's screw to desktop, right? And that's not the case at all. The thing is, you're trying to, I mean, in some cases, people do that because, whatever, like there's times where it's like Periscope, I think it is. They're like, yeah, so connect via our Android or whatever app to make a comment or a chat. And I'm thinking, like, can you not do comments in a web browser? I mean, is your web development team that bad that they can't get Netscape Navigator 4? Or I guess it'd be Netscape Communicator at that point, sorry. Level of JavaScript API? You think they would, have... I think actually would support that. You think they would know a little bit about how to do it, but, well, I'll back off a little bit on that. But there should be no reason that you can't do... that you can't do a commenting system in a web browser. They have all the protocols there, and they, as a matter of fact, make it as easy as possible for that. You can do XML HTTP requests if you want to do text transactions, or if you want to have more real time, then you can use WebRTC. Instead of doing audio or video channels, make it a data channel that will spit out XKX text and then convert back and forth. And then you'll have complete control. You'll have basically a TCP stack. Actually, no, I think ORC is UDP. So you have a UDP setup that gives you raw sockets and you can do it, and it works in basically every browser these days. Jeez. Now I'm wondering, is WebRTC UDP? I think it's UDP based. So let's turn on Firefox and look up some web development documentation, even though it's supposed to be a C++ stream. WebRTC UDP. And I was on caps lock for some reason. This is WebRTC UDP and UDP. I think it uses both, actually. Oh yeah, it's either it could be in either mode, unreliable or reliable. Where is it again? Yeah, RTC, the WebRTC data channel can work in either unreliable mode, analogous to UDP, or reliable mode, analogous to TCP. Reliable being that basically the protocol itself will worry about making sure all the packets get there in the right order. If you're in UDP mode, like let's say you were making a chat client and you had to string together UDP packets to make up a message, and for some stupid reason you do it one word at a time, even though I'm not even sure. How big is a UDP packet anyway? UDP packet payload length, there we are. Yeah. Yeah. Up to 65 kilobytes. Well, about 64 kilobytes or so. So you'd be able to have, like, we'll say after all the overhead, we'll say like 60 kilobytes. Sure, let's say 60 kilobytes. Why not? Unless I'm looking right at it. Let's say 60 kilobytes. So if you have, a payload of 60 kilobytes, you can fit in a single packet. Okay, so let's say, so 60 kilobytes would be 60,000 characters, assuming UTF-8 or ASCII, and you're not using any extended set. So that would be, or let's say 32,000, and you're using 16-bit characters because for some reason you're using the expand character set. So that would mean that you could fit about 12,000 words. Oh no, about 10,000 words because space. assuming an average word length of about 5 letters in a single packet. So basically, you're not gonna have any problem with the chat program when it comes to TCP or UDP because everything got fit in one packet. But or you shouldn't, at least. But in theory, if you had it like 1 word per packet, and you send the message, this is on UDP. It could be UDP this on is, right? It could be in any order, or any packets could drop. Could be like UDP this is, and what happened to on? Right? Network ate it, right? Whereas TCP in the protocol itself would continue to resend it. And it would make sure that the data arrives in order. So if you have, it'd be this is UDP, you're not going to get the message until this is on comes over through NUDP, then can finally come in, right? Or TCP if you want to say this is on TCP, change a message for the protocol you're using. Why would you want to say this is on UDP if you're saying it by TCP? I don't know. The analogy just is weak. Who cares? You're not coming here for good analogies. I hope not. Well, maybe you are. Anyway, so yeah, so it would keep resending and trying until it gets that data it's missing, and then it'll finish with the rest and assemble the packet in order. Of course, the problem is then if you have one packet just want to get from point A to point B, then you're gonna be waiting a long time, right? Which is better, having lag and slowing your network connection down, or not getting all your data, right? Yeah, so that could be a problem. And of course, I'm saying that, and I'm assuming people like me already know everything I'm talking about when it comes to this. There's actually a funny joke. It's about UDP. Yeah. Don't care if you get it though. So anyway, the sad part is that wasn't even an original joke. That was stolen. Yeah. Welcome to awkwardness. Anyway, so let's continue on with this. Now it's working good. We got it aligned properly. Actually, let's double check on make sure it's aligned properly. So this is obviously the server. And do you like this alignment? I think I do. Actually, while we're designing it, let's do some stuff. So here, chosen setting, we're gonna make it regular font. We're gonna make it a bit smaller because I wasn't too much a fan of that big font. And it's again not gonna be this one. It's gonna be this one. So now I definitely need to refix it. So let's say this one will be size 23. Actually, that's way more than 3 pixels. 22. Not 21. Okay, 20, whatever. So it went from 26 to 20, so we need to go down 10. There we are. Which makes sense because it was 30 we were at before. This won't matter, but this is way off. Okay, so let's go up probably about 4. 24. There we are. So yeah, it looks kind of good. And again, the way it's going to work is that the line's going to be flush here. So map's going to be a bit further off, but it's all going to be like that. Do I want to have a bottom border, though? Is that something I can do? I mean, there is stuff I can do, but I'd have to wrap it with something, unless it's just... I guess not. Okay. Okay, so there we are. Enough screwing around. Let's fix what we needed to. And the event graph. Get object as a class. There we are. So set current selection. Okay, so populate mode camera box, populate mode map combo box, populate preset combo box. Then we're going to well, I should not do that just yet. Let's because that'll be in the construct. I guess we're gonna do that right now. I guess we need to do that before, so let's do that. But first, I'm losing my train of thought here. So, acquire selected map. Acquire selected mode. Acquire selected preset. And just to be a bit, well, I can't move him down. I can't reorder him. Well, I'm not going to delete them and recreate them just for that. So the reason why I need macros for these is because I need a little bit more logic just acquiring it, because I want to acquire it if it changed. Yeah, so let's think about that. So I was thinking... So in execute, and then 2 executes for out. So in unchanged, changed. Okay. And that should be it too, because I shouldn't need to do that. So shouldn't need to do anything with that. So trying to think of how I'd easily get the menu setup helper. Let's not add a macro for that. Let's just do this. So get menu setup helper, and then so it's the map. So name a map. Get name a map. So branch equal case insensitive selected map. So if this is equal, If true, unchanged. If false, then set. Oops, what am I doing? Just set instead of going and finding it in the content browser. Set name of map to selected map name, and then call changed. So we need to do this 3 times, of course. Map mode preset. In unchanged. Changed. And the reason why I have an unchanged value is that if I need to, when I will, if I need to, I will need to. Words escape me today, and most days. But, so if I need to continue execution after I check to see if anything's changed, and I will, because I'll need to do at least 3 checks, and I want them all to happen in the same thread. Then I'll need to have an output for it, but yeah. And then from here, it's good. I could condense this to 1 node by making another macro, but I don't really know if I want to. So this is there, that's there, that's there. Name of mode. Get selected mode. Name of mode. And then changed. Oh, I could just do this way. There. Probably not gonna bother fixing the other one because they're let's grab all these, even though I don't think that will work. No. In, out, in, unchanged, changed. And then preset. Oh. Get some preset. I thought that's what I clicked, but apparently not. I mean, I knew it wasn't when I clicked after I clicked it, but. Hey, welcome to the chat. Try, I think I pronounced that. Bekai? Is that how you pronounce it? So we're keeping this up to date. So in the event graph, we're going to, instead of doing this, we're actually going to detach this, because this is actually not doing the exact same thing. It's not doing the same thing at all. We're just acquiring it. And what am I doing? I want these to happen in order. Okay. How's everyone doing in the chat? Oh, I actually don't even want to have this happen because I need this this acquisition depends on actually no, it doesn't. That's gonna be my problem. So I'm doing acquire selected mode, populate mode combo box, populate map combo box, populate preset combo box. And I said, oh, it's not going to change. It actually is going to change because when you change a mode, it'll change a map in the preset. If you change a map, it'll change a preset. They depend on each other. So that's going to suck. What's my qualifications for what? To program? Nice thing is you actually don't need programs to qualifications to program. If you're doing it freelance, just the tools are there for free. Have fun, right? Now, if you're talking about the things behind me, then there are 2 degrees. One's in physics, one's in education. Both from Queen's U. It wasn't okay. So there's 2 types of education degrees. One you get in 4 years, where you basically do a Bachelor of Education as your entire university career. And in those cases, what you do is you get a limited choice of your like you take a limited subset of courses in your degree enough to fill up the requirements to be a teacher. And you also fill it with education courses along the way. So you have 4 years of actual education, and you end up with about 75% of a degree in what you're first doing, and an education degree at the end, all one. Whereas this is consecutive education. So what happened was I went through took me 5 because I had to transfer university. I did my first year in a different province. So 5 years for me, but a 4-year. So there's no jobs in physics, is that right? Of course there's jobs in physics. Right now I work for a computer hardware website. Admittedly, it's not, very lucrative, but it's fine. Higher demand game devs. Okay, so here's one of the things about being a game developer. There is a lot of us, right? So basically, and this has been the case for the longest time, especially in certain areas, there is a lot of game developers such that they can really pay very, very little. I don't really have any experience with that because I've only really ever done this stuff on my own, but I mean, you've heard stories of people working 70 hours a week for barely minimum wage. In certain places making trees for Barbie Horse Adventure, right? That's a joke. I'm not even sure how I'm not even sure who makes Barbie Horse Adventure, but whoever it is, whatever, right? But I mean, you're making trees or something for some small small sections of a project, just kind of grind through in order to do QA or something. Although in the higher end, there's a lot of there's some ways you can get a good job in game development, but the same subset you do in games, you'll have a much less stressful and much more lucrative time doing similar work, making like enterprise database software or something like that. So if you're interested in money and ease, game development is not the choice for you. If you're interested in expressing yourself or making content you really then yes, of course, game development is good for that. And there's also been some cases. Cliff Bleszinski had a talk back in like 2004, like almost like 12 years ago now, where it was titled, "So you get a job in game development, here's how not to get screwed." Cliff Bleszinski was one of the original four. I can't remember who the fourth guy was, but I know Mark Rain, Tim, and Cliff, and there's someone else as well. Were one of the original four in Epic Games, made Unreal Engine, Unreal Tournament, Unreal, of course, Gears of War, that sort of stuff. And when he had that talk, he was saying there was some situations where some publishers would, unless you have in your contract that you must be in the credits, like if they have a legal requirement to put you in the credits, they would not put you in the credits. And you think, well, why would that? Doesn't cost me anything. Why would they want to do that? Okay, so the reason why they didn't put your name in the credits is because when the headhunters called, they pretend you didn't work there, or when you try to apply to another job, they pretend you didn't work there, right? And then you go to their job and you're like, so what'd you do? I'm like, oh, I worked in this game. Well, you're not in the credits, right? And it apparently was common enough that people from other companies who were hiring these people knew that one company they were talking about. I'm not sure if I should say allegedly, whatever. I mean, allegedly. I'm not whatever, but I'm not sure if I mentioned the name, but we kind of assume allegedly it might have been Rockstar that was doing that, but I don't really want to say for that definitively. And also apparently got a lot better over time as well. But regardless, that was like 2004, right? THQ is what someone says in the chat. I don't know about that. Is it hard to program a game? What are you asking about that? So is it hard to program game logic and stuff like that? Well, I mean, we're doing it on stream. If you want to look at my YouTube channel down there, you can see this project go from clean, actually twice. You can go see it go from clean project in Unreal Engine to what we have right now. Apparently, Mira is saying that allegedly, again, Darksiders had many uncredited people and some GPL violations. Apparently that was known, I guess. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. So, I mean, there's... in the industry, sometimes you get some publishers that do some kind of underhand things to make it harder for you to go other places, right? And there's also the kind of that, kiss of death where if you get hired for a job and you quit within the first year, you're not gonna get hired again, chances are, right? It'd be very difficult for you to convince a hiring manager that if you couldn't stick it out in one company, that you're gonna stick it out in the other one, right? So it's a real big burnout industry. It's, from what I understand, movies not so bad. Video games is kind of worse, and apparently TV is even worse than that when it comes to like quick turnaround. But yeah, it's a skilled, high in demand field. So you're gonna be fighting for it. But once you get in the door and you get to let's say you get into a good company like Epic Games or something like that, then of course, yeah, you're gonna be, you're gonna be living the life. But there is some issues in the industry. It's not exactly an easy thing. That being said, when it comes to the ability to program stuff on your own, if you want to make a hobby or whatever of it, the tools are free. Like, if you want to learn how to program, the tools are there for free. Just do it. If you have an idea, one of the best ways to learn how to program or learn how to do anything. Long hair and a beard is not very professional. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely need a haircut. There's reasons why I haven't gone yet, but yeah. Thanks for the critique, but yeah. So lost my train of thought here. Oh, yeah. So if you want to learn how to program, one of the best ways to learn is by having a goal to go for. So one thing that we do in education is when you're teaching high school student physics or something, you have a curriculum that's set by the board of some form, and you take that curriculum and you say, I'm going to make a 10-week course or whatever it is from it. So I'm going to do 2 weeks on this topic, have a test, do another 2 weeks, have a test, do another 2 weeks, have a test, do another 2 weeks, have a test. And the assessment, the test, would have two effects. First off, it would give you a benchmark for how well the student is doing, and it would also give the student motivation to do it because they want to get good grades, or at least that's the theory. So it would motivate the student to do something, and it would give me a bit of feedback for how good they are at it. So I'd be able to be like, okay, the student's running behind on X, Y, and Z, so let's make sure we really drill this next time. Or, if most of the students are missing a point, go back on it or whatever, right? If you have a project, you can do that yourself, right? And that's kind of the key. Hey, Sean, welcome to the chat. Going pretty good. Things are actually working, which is surprising. But yeah, so if you have a project, then your motivation is the intrinsic value of the project. If you care enough to do it, you're going to want to see it through. And you're going to go through hurdles for it, right? As a matter of fact, those hurdles might actually be higher than the hurdles you're willing to jump over might actually be higher than the ones for grades, right? And so if you kind of slip behind in school, if you have a project you really want to see through, you'll probably care more about that than I want to get a 95 in my course or whatever, right? Or an 80 or whatever, or pass in some cases. But in a lot of cases. But, and then for pacing, it's just a matter of how much time you can afford, right? And how long you want to see it. You want to have steady milestones, so that way you don't get discouraged and give up. But as long as you continue to make milestones, to give yourself the encouragement to do the next milestone, and next, and the next, and the next, and eventually release it. And then you do the next project, and the next, and next, and next, and next. As long as you have enough motivation to keep doing that, then that's up to you. It's your choice. And then... Oh, I just explained them. No, this one is a physics degree. This one's an education degree. So yeah, what I was trying to say is that I did a full education degree, full physics degree, with the intent of going to grad school, but changed my mind later on. Decided to go to education program, so I didn't get an education degree on top of that. To be a high school physics teacher, which I ended up not being. Oh, actually, that could work. Oh. It won't work until I create the preset. Okay. Until I create the macro, I mean. Cannot imagine you with shorter hair and no beard. Actually, I can't show you shorter hair because it's been a long time for that, but... I'll show you what I look like in university. I can't show it from that Firefox account though. a second while I find that photo. Okay, then that'll be it. So, in university, this was probably around 3rd year, so probably around 2008. Short day's good. Yeah, this is what it looked like. This was me. Anyway. So, yeah. For the record, if you haven't been following this, I've only recently got glasses around February, March or so. Okay, so populate mode combo box. So we will Lex Luthor and Superman versus Batman. Okay then. So how am I gonna do it? Yeah, it was. The question was, that's what I look like, yeah. So I'm trying to think if this would work, because I'm trying to think of right now if the list of maps and modes is different. How would I do this? Okay. I'm trying to think if the map and mode's difference, and for some reason, because network synchronization, the list of mode comes in, and the list of modes, or maps and presets, come in, they don't have the map required, either because, you know, the mode was changed and then the preset would change. Or something. This would only really be a problem for hosts on dedicated servers. Yeah, so let's think about that. Because I want to make sure the populate is called after we get the new replicated actor. Or no, we don't. That's right, we don't need to do that because we don't replicate the list. We only replicate the selected. So I just have to make sure that the selected is valid and possible. Oh, that's the thing. Alright, so I need to, instead of grabbing map mode and preset here, that's all going to be from the menu setup helper and the state of the drop down box. Oh no, I can't do that because that would have to... Yeah, I can't do that because the players wouldn't have it. I mean, they would have the drop-down box. I don't want to have to keep changing it. Oh, that makes sense. It won't change. It would only be controlled by the menu host when it's, you know, when there's one host, it'll only be controlled by the menu host. The problem is when the host changes to synchronize the settings off. But then I can just on host change force a new selection. And then synchronize that to the server. So that'd be fun. Okay. So this on tick thing will work fine. So I don't even need it to be changed or unchanged. Because this is just going to set okay. So I was going to say I just need to do this because it would only set it when it changes, but yeah, I'll leave it like that so I draw to the canvas less. Okay. One of the problems with programming is you're trying to translate data. As I say, that's all you're doing. You're taking some form of data and you're putting it to some other form of data. You think, well, that's kind of simple, but it actually is all you're really doing. Now, it may be a complicated mass of data like keyboard input and network communication and like audio video files on a disk and stuff, and you're trying to convert it to video screens from a video game and audio, and then more network communications for multiplayer. So you're doing all these conversions, and they could be very complicated, like, you know, like I said, mouse keyboard input, microphone input, gamepad input into video and audio, and there's no obvious link from one way to the other because that's how a video game's programmed, right? It depends on the content of the game. But that's all you're really doing is you're only translating it. So the problem is I kind of lost my train of thought there. Shoot. So the problem is you then have to think of various events that you can access because you're running on an engine. The engine has its own code running, and you want to translate the data as few times as possible to still get an accurate result. Because the less times you need to touch the data, the less time your computer's going to be crunching data. Right? It's going to be doing less translation. So in this case, I'm deliberately trying to only draw on change, because if setting text is a costly function, then I can only do it once per change as opposed to once every frame, right? Even if nothing changed, right? So, yeah. There we are. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, so before we do anything more, let's do populate mode combo box. Okay, so in, out. So in and out, and then we're going to get the widget mode. Get, it's gonna be, a combo box, right? Okay, so we'll start off with this because we're going to need this. So we're going to start by grabbing this, and then we're going to get the modes, get list of modes. Okay. Yeah, so we'll do this. So we'll do clear. Combo box. Clear options. Well, this is ugly. And then we're going to add options. Let's do combo box. Hey, welcome to the chat, Trizzy TT. Do 4 each. For each loop. Route. Okay, so for each of these, we want to then let's do a route node, and we'll do here. Let's do combo box. Add option. Route node. Route node. Then when we complete. Okay, so we'll show you the old version of Check It. And we'll start building up from there. So this is the old version of Check It that we were working on last year. Looks like a chessboard, right? So there's a couple of differences. So if we grab this pawn, it can only move up 1 instead of sideways, or instead of 2. So we move, and then we can now, our next move sideways, which is not like chess at all. And then we can, you know, move the queen out, and we can move forward, back, left, right, or kill diagonal. That's good. And you think, why would that change be necessary? Well, because there is multiple maps. And in this case, this map is not an 8x8 grid, it's an actual 64x64 grid. This is going to be it was going to be a medieval town. It was baked to 1 versus AI, so we end up having to change it. The idea was originally a game jam that we were going to do very quickly. And I couldn't license the music for YouTube, so I wasn't able to save any of my videos for YouTube because I could do it on Twitch, but I couldn't for copyright reasons do it on YouTube. That's okay. So when we got that, we ended up doing it. So we got the license for that. We were able to put our stuff on YouTube. So we ended up doing a restart. But the idea, let's say, is here is 1 versus AI. So you can, and you notice some of these. Oh, thanks. some of these tiles look disabled, and the idea behind that is to prevent the queen from just going across the map and killing everything, because it can recurse as much as it wants. It has to be within range of a king. So you see here, there's 2 knights in the stable because haha horses. If we want to be able to grab them out, we can move the king forward and slowly open up control range until it's in range of the knight. So now we have the first knight in range, so I can select it and move if I want. Can't select the second knight though, because it's still out of range. So I can then move the king forward and grab the second knight, move it here. And the other knight can move, you know, there. Let's move it there just for the sake of it. So then I can move my knights in. But the problem is I'm taking a bunch of moves to move the king over, move the knights over, and there's no fog of war. You can see exactly what everyone's doing. So if the AI was smart, it would have a choice of either getting its own knights, or it could go into the level and try to get a position up over here to deny me from getting a bishop over here and force me to kind of get out this way. So it forces me in a certain direction to kind of corner me in this area somewhere. But I'd have knights, so I'd be able to jump the wall if I do an L shape like this, right? So there's the idea behind it. And there's also going to be some other interesting features too, like a card system. So if you grab a certain tile and you hold it, it'll give you a card for power-ups. And you play a power-up card on a knight for a special ability, you'd be able to actually make it charge. So instead of going in L, they'll just run forward and make 2 or 3 spaces. And yeah, so all pieces that recurse, so bishop, rook, and queen, can go as many spaces as they have control range over. If it hits a gap, or if it hits a no control range, like it's a king's control range, or if it hits you know, something that can, or a friendly piece, it's gonna stop there. But as long as it has clear going and it's within, like, including control range, it'll keep going on as long as it can, right? So if you have king set up like every 8 space, or every 16, but let's say every 14 spaces, you can move the queen like forever that way, because they'll keep going between king control range. It's a game jam thing, so it's kind of small and simple, but anyway, we'll be done with that. And from there, because we were able to license the music, we decided let's do a big old relaunch. Let's restart it and go here. And this is our second attempt at it. We had some issues with the second attempt, so we ended up doing a third attempt, which is what we're working on right now. Mostly that it didn't port to Unreal Engine 4.12. It was broken. I thought the project file was broken. Turns out it might have actually been the Visual Studio solution was just improperly configured in a way that actually happened to my other project, which I figured out, but I didn't know at the time, so I was like, oh, let's restart the project. Anyway, so here we are. So if we start big old Shah of a pawn, and you can host a game, and you'll see that the movement mechanics were enhanced quite a bit. Let's say we set the player, which is player name 256 for some reason, on team 2 in spawn 2 and AI spawn 1. So when we launch, we're now here. As you can see, our control is now based on a specific castling and en passant, stuff like that. I'm not planning on having those movement mechanics in. I'm planning on it being inspired by chess, but I mean, there might be reasons for some special moves, maybe even new ones. But I'm going to try to keep it to just the basics for now. First off, it's a proof of concept, just to show people, hey, this is a cool game idea. If you want to see it being made, watch me on Twitch, right? That's like, so like, it's always possible. Maybe some will be power-up cards. Maybe some will be by default in certain situations. But I mean, like, for example, the king switching with a castle. In order for that to work, the king in the castle can't ever move. Well, what if the map doesn't have the king in the castle in such a position that it would work? I don't know, right? So you have to make some liberties on that. So we already changed the pawn movement once by allowing it to move sideways, because if you have a bridge, you can't keep moving the pawn forward. You have to be able to move around to get onto the bridge, right? Otherwise, you just have a pawn running against a wall and never use it, right? Yeah, so that was one concession we had to make. But yeah, so it's possible to have concessions, and this actually shows right here the idea behind. Well, that's interesting. This is one move I haven't seen before. The king started here, it moved over by 1, and it made it out of range of the knight. So as you can see, the movement mechanics are a bit more upgraded since then, and it also works with gamepad now. So instead of needing to click on the actors, we can just, select our tile, grab like that, or whatever. And we can also go over here. So let's say we want to right now the queen's not wanting to eat the knight because the king's within range of it. Oh, my stream's stuck loading? Oh, sorry. But as you can see here, if I remove it like here, and the king's not dead yet, okay. I can now move my queen all the way up over here. Should actually move it here, why not? And just kill the king. And I won because they don't have any control range anymore. They can't move any of these pieces because there is no control. All the board is this color for the AI, so it can't stop me. And let's kill the last one. Woo. Oh, I was gonna show it again, but I remembered this game crashes when I start and stop it without restarting it. Okay, yeah, I'm sending out 2.1 megabits, and unfortunately, unpopular Twitch streams don't end up getting multiple encoded, so yeah. I'm not sure what you missed. If you really want to know, I mean, obviously this is going to be available on YouTube probably by tomorrow. I'll probably do it overnight. But yeah, so if you have any issues with having a stable internet connection, unfortunately there's not really a whole lot you can do because Twitch kind of forces small people to be at the encoding bit rate. And I've already dropped down to 2 megabits, which is pretty low. But anyway, so this way, let's actually switch it up. So I'll be spawn 1 in the... We'll make blue team. We'll make the AI spawn where I did, so it had... Or red team, sorry. Alright. So I need to actually... move it here. Oh, you're dead now. You're dead too. So now they have the pieces over here that I can that they can do. Cool, thanks. So yeah, the idea is I'm planning on making this game, my plans right now are to make this game on stream, hopefully the Twitch stream, which hasn't really given me any money yet, but, not even on YouTube, I mean. Hoping it will be enough to cover the expenses so I can keep making this forever, basically. Not forever, like, so I can keep making this game and release the game for free. To draw more people to the stream. If that works, that's great. that might not be the case. You know, but we'll see. Oh, you're on 200 megabits? Oh, okay. Well, that should be fine. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm actually not sure about doing donations and stuff like that yet. I was also thinking of setting up a Patreon event at some point, but we also have some other things going on. I work for a computer website, and we're actually going to do some animation stuff shortly. Actually, the first one will come up probably next week on Tuesday. So we're not quite sure how this will work. This is one of a couple of projects I have going on, so we're still trying to figure out what's going on. Thanks for the offer, though. Yeah. At some point, I might actually add a donation button. Make it rain. Thanks, Mir. So we're adding the options. So now we have the new option set up. And okay. Now completed, we'll need to do branch. So if name of mode contains Combobox. Find option index, fine. So find an option index. Greater equal than 0. So if this is greater or equal than 0, no, it's not activity diagram. So Unreal Engine 4 is the engine I'm using to make the video game. And this is a scripting language for it. So most of the code I try to do is going to be in Visual Studio C++. So here is Visual C++, and a comment that I should actually get rid of. So most of it's going to be in, not breakpoint. Most of it's going to be in C++. My header files and my C++ files, that makes sense. But when you're dealing with user interface and you're dealing with UMG, you can sort of do it in C++ if you change your build options, a couple other things as well, but they really kind of poke you towards doing it through their visual scripting language called Blueprints. So this is literally programming the interface. So we're now creating a macro, which called populate mode combo box, and the idea is that the combo box we have here will get all the possible. Let's see how far we can zoom in. I guess that's as far as we can go. Get all the possible options for it, so that way when we, start it, it won't be test and other test. It'll be battle, CTF, and whatever. And then the player will see, oh. Oh, because I unhooked it, right. We'll see the test. So Elite John's 93 asks, am I alright? Yes. So stressed out. I'm good. So, on complete, if the name of mode is in the combo box, we'll do nothing. But if it's not, we're going to do set selected mode to name of mode. Oh, no, we're not. So we would need to see if it's possible. So or not. That would work, yeah. I can just do this. Because this would either change or unchange it. So if it's changed, then set selected mode. I'm not sure if I'm doing this correctly, but we'll see. Here. Oh, is this? Oh, is that not? Oh, so okay. So I was using a incorrect but a similar one. So acquire selected mode and then change. I think this is correct. This is why we test code, just in case, or rather, see what we just did does, and fix it. Because we'll have to fix it. Anyway, but we'll see. Okay, so this should work. So what we need to do is we need to see if this is available. So this won't work. We need to see if this is available on our thing for that, but well, whatever. You know what, let's just test it. Populate mode combo box. Alright, have a good night. It's 10:03. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half, so we're going to be cutting it off soon anyway. Okay. So we'll have some problems in the switch over, but we'll deal with that. Or we'll just leave the bug in there and not care because it's proof of concept. Okay, so now populate map. I mean, the UI is going to change anyway, so not that far. I wanted to go here. There we are. Instead of list of modes, we want it to be a list of maps. Thanks, Frizzy. There we are. So, map. And name of mode will be name of map. And then that should be it. We just need to then connect our output and we'll be good. Okay. Now we then copy all this into presets. And in. Yeah, let's have it like that. Why not? Nope, 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 nope. There we are. Don't want to move your node. I just want to. There. So instead of map, it will be percent. What? I grabbed the wrong box. I thought I was grabbing a... the arrow key moved me up to the macros, so I saw, oh, mode. Or preset. Wait, did I just reorder that? Okay. It presets. It's presets. So all this is handled in C++ code as I showed earlier. It shouldn't be a problem for people that just join in, because all that will be handled by the C++ code before the menu occurs. The problem is when you change hosts. So if it's not a listen server, it's on a dedicated server, the server drops, the game finds a new host. So on a listen server, if the server drops, if the host drops, the server just gone, right? Because the server goes with them, right? But on a dedicated server, the host drops, the server still exists, and it should find another host, right? So, yeah. The problem would be the second person coming in, right? What their selection will say. And I mean, they can just fix it by just selecting a new one, but... You want things to have as little bugs as possible, right? Cool, let's compile and save, so then we do... map. Oh, what am I doing? So that should be good. They acquire selected mode. For a time being, we'll just have them both like that. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, okay. This is not being set because there's no... Okay. Interesting. Let's see what this says then. It says nothing. Oh, because we didn't set the text yet, right? Oh, that's what I need to do, right? Yeah. Okay. Then we'll need to get there we are. Set text. Text. Okay. The name of mode. I thought I was able to do the conversions automatically when you just drag it to pin directly, but apparently not. This would be map. Bingo. All this to make the blueprints look nice and pretty, right? The name of map. Get. Your route node. Actually, no, it won't because there's nothing on top of that. So there will be a route node if we have to do anything after this. It's changed. Go here, and then the name of preset will go here with the. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see here. This obviously isn't changed because we didn't do anything in the combo box. Clicked the wrong button. It's this one I want to care about though. Oh. So it showed something. Let's try that again. So let's grab here. I'm gonna wanna pause. I'm going to click here, then do frame skip. Oh. So let's do a breakpoint here. And we'll do a watch on this. But we can do a watch on this variable. Current value 1v1, so why isn't this being set? Oh. Well, that will be one problem, but it doesn't explain all of my problems so far. Zoom. So why aren't you drawing? Let's remove the breakpoints. Why are you disappearing? Let's try doing this. I can't do that. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, direct says widget text. So let's look at my designer. Text chosen setting. Where's my problem? I'm using the wrong one. Should be setting text. Sure, why not? Let's try this here. Should be right, but you never know. Let's see if just connecting this works. Okay, that's never called. So let's set a breakpoint here. Now remove this one just to make it more clear. Okay. What language can I code in? I have experience in JavaScript, Java, C++. Used to use TinyScript as well, which was an interesting language for telnet clients. Then a hotkey, done a couple projects in Python. But it's really not. I mean, people treat like programming languages like real languages, like English, French, whatever. And it's not the same real thing at all. It's just a matter of, you know, it's not like a huge vocabulary you have to change. They're all kind of fairly similar. The syntax can vary wildly between them, but it's not something you can't just pick up, right? Once you learn how to program a little bit, you can pick up pretty much any language at any point. Now, will you know the advanced features of C++ or whatever? Then of course not, but, you know. So it depends on what you're talking about. If you're be able to just pick, pick whatever, like make a simple like hello world or whatever, that'll be pretty easy. You can do pretty much anything in a couple days. Actually, probably less than a couple days, but I mean, like hello world's probably like half hour for a lot of these languages, but that's generous. 5 minutes probably. Anyway, regardless, unless you count setting up to build environment, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not really answering the question right. So basically, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Selected mode is unchanged. Okay, well, we'll figure out what's going on with this by... Where's my... Oh, I see. Okay. I didn't have a part of the macro. And you think, hey, that's cheating. Well, whatever. See if this fixes it. Turn off the breakpoint. No. Unless for some reason we're being set invisible. I don't know why I'd be set invisible. We were visible earlier. You know what? We're gonna stop with it tonight. We're gonna continue on tomorrow. Clearly doing something wrong. It might be that I'm updating too frequently. But I'm pretty sure set text doesn't care, because I mean we've done this with this, right? Actually, what did I even do? Oh, that's the problem. Okay, so we'll fix that right now. Because I already had a, for lack of a better word, a method of doing this. I just need to set current selection here. There we are, set current selection, mode. What? And the current selection would be name of mode. So maybe we will do it. Let's just grab it here. The name of map. And then box map. Now let's try this. This is much more satisfying. Not perfectly, but... Okay, so why are you not showing up? Oh, because it's never changed? Oh, because I have all this crap here. Okie dokie. Let's do an add breakpoint here. How is that never called? Oh, because it's unchanged, right? There needs to be always an output, right? So 1, 2, 3. Let's try this. Okay, stop. Let's remove the breakpoint. Let's try this again. Much better. So that's set up properly. Now let's see this guy here. So Battle CTFC just stood up. These guys are populated. These guys are populated, although the selection is not. So Mir just released a bunch of dangerous bugs in the world. Did you publish something? Or are you talking about like little insects? Tomatoes, carnivorous bugs may eat many other bugs. Okay. Oh, ladybugs. I see. So you're following the Twit know-how suggestion. They're doing the gardening recently. Anyway, so, Gross, thanks everyone for watching, and see you all next time.